Hello guys and welcome to the ESL One Mumbai 2019 India Qualifier Final. Longest presentation I've had until now. You're watching Signify versus coming soon in an exciting best of 5 to determine who will be the qualified Indian team for their local LAN. The biggest LAN up to date in India, for at least for the Dota 2 scene, and a very exciting time to be alive if you are an Indian Dota 2 player, as your dreams are finally coming true of being able to go to a LAN. It must be very exciting. It's very nice seeing a new scene starting to pop up here in Southeast Asia. Oh, not here. There in Southeast Asia. In this final, we're going to watch Signify versus coming soon. Duke it out, like I mentioned, in a best of 5. Signify comes with a 1-game advantage as they make it through the winners brackets, whereas coming soon, unfortunately, coming through the losers brackets, comes with no game advantage and will have to beat Signify 3 times. A bit of an unfair matchup, but coming soon likes the challenge. They like those odds, and they want to demonstrate that their team, with the 2 international Filipino players, can beat the completely Indian squad of Signify. We're here in the official ESL channel, so remember to follow us on Twitch, like us on Facebook, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And my name is D Swordfish. I will be your caster for today. Hope you enjoy the cast later today. We are gonna have hopefully Wingblade join me for these casts as well. I do apologize in advance for the delay. It really was not up to us, obviously. The match initially got delayed for unknown circumstances from the original 8:30 CET mark to a 12 CET. Do your transformations however you want. I know that you're looking for Indian Standard Time, and it was supposed to start now. The official time got changed to from 1 in the afternoon IST to 4:30 IST, if that makes sense to you guys. So because of that, the match starts now. There was also internet issues for Signify, as you saw on the screen, and that means the match got even further delayed into the time that we're starting now. But we're finally in this match, so without further ado, we'll actually get started with the draft. Signify showing us a Tusk and a Lich, whereas coming soon, they start out with the Earth Spirit and the Bat Rider. Okay, Signify going for the complete ice lineup that we saw previously in the last patch very often. 720 combine these 2 heroes often in a offensive, or sorry, either as 2 supports or even an offensive tri-lane. Was one of the few tri-lanes you actually used to see. Tusk Lich is such a strong combo. You offer a lot of ways to cancel or evade, or sorry, to mitigate or evade the damage any team can put out through you, either through the Frost Armor or the Snowball. You get a nice amount of catch with both the Sinister Gaze and the Walrus Punch. Not the best, you still want some catch in your cores, but it's not bad at all. Ooh, nice Slurk. And they both work really nicely with heroes that like to be upfront and personal with the enemy team. Lich with the Frost Armor, of course, amazing, and Tusk with that Snowball helps those heroes be a bit more viable. They also offer good team fight ultimates, as always, in these 2 supports, and that's going to help ever so slightly more. So, team not bad. Slurk is a good combination. Juggernaut obviously the ideal one, but they took that out relatively early, so they couldn't really take advantage of that Jug pick. I'm going to slightly reduce my sound here. I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully anyone that's watching can help us out, because as a solo caster this time, I need to make sure my sound levels are okay, and I hope I don't sound too loud. Okay. Now, with a Slark pick, they actually get the Pseudo Juggernaut. He's a bit better with Grimstroke, ideally, but Lich also works nicely with him, as he does offer a very useful stun, canceling TPs early game, because you don't have the chance to use the pounce twice. That's for sure. The Signify team definitely has a lot of killing potential in the early game. Coming soon, going for a bit different. They're going for a lot of lane harassment early, with the Bat Rider winning most lanes, probably forcing out the Slark pick, and the Earth Spirit being a pretty decent laner ever since the rolling boulder change, and offering a lot of teamfight in the mid game. The idea for coming soon, and usually for any strong lane lineup, is to come out of the early game stage decently. You know, not necessarily snowball potential, but have an okay early game, move on to a much stronger mid game, taking advantage of the Earth Spirit and the Bat Rider's teamfight potential. The Disruptor pick, interesting one. Definitely not one I was expecting. Can be Oh, now the Darkseer can be very powerful against heroes like now Darkseer and the Slark, actually. Can really cancel the Tusk Snowball as well, as he can Static Storm wherever the Snowball is meant to go. So Tusk Snowball initiation, less reliable. But he is vulnerable to the Tusk snowball in the same way, as the Tusk can actually snowball near the static storm and get a bunch of people in it as long as they run towards it. He just needs to be pretty clever about it. And the Slark, of course, can go Shadow Dance, and your abilities are essentially useless, as you can always just pounce out of the kinetic field. But Disruptor actually a pretty decent pick against Slark in general. He offers the Vision, which kind of cancels the Shadow Dance, and the area damage he offers is pretty nice against them. And you combine that with an anti-mage now. Okay, so you're going to have a team that's meant to get early pickoffs and early team fights, the 4 protect 1 style lineup, and then anti-mage going for the full carry potential. It's one of those 50-50 lineups like Wingblade was talking about yesterday, where you get half a lineup oriented towards like a team fight, and then one part of the lineup in case you need to go late game. It's a bit of a gamble, more so of a gamble than going full early game, because it's just not as cohesive, this lineup, but it can work out, especially with qualifier teams. This anti-mage here will be able to easily kill off the Darkseer as well. In the early game, he gets an early level counterspell. Should not be too worried about this, plus the Quelling Blade as well. And he can deal decently with Darkseer's creeps. He's not a Doom, but he's also not, say, I don't know, CK, for example, who deals really badly. Actually not anymore. What melee heroes can't deal? PA, for example, that can't deal with Darkseer's creeps. Anti-mage is a bit better. You have the Blink as well to take away his mana early. It's not that bad. It's a pretty decent counter to the Darkseer, especially with the Disruptor helping him out. But coming soon, like I said, doesn't have too much cohesion in their lineup. They need a pretty strong teamfight hero to finish them off. And they need a mid laner, most likely. They banned the Tiny. Tiny carries some area damage, good against Slark. Unfortunately, I would usually suggest the Kunkka here, but he's been nerfed to the ground. So I think you really can't pick Kunkka anymore. He needs a bit of a buff, which is unfortunate. What else could we see for the mid lane here for coming soon? You know, you could use something that's not been seen too much as meta, but could work out here as a Death Prophet, offering you a lot of team fight and a lot of early game potential. Since it's harder to counter Death Prophet, you would force Signify into what? A Quap? Quap being very weak against Disruptor, very weak against Batrider, very weak against Earth Spirit and Anti-Mage. There's very few heroes that actually counter this Death Prophet. Oh, but the ban on the Ember is an interesting one. Then probably not DP for coming soon. What are they planning on if you ban an Ember? Troll, maybe? Oh, Pangolier. Yeah, okay, I see that, because Pangolier has a hard time against Ember because of the Flame Guard, even though he does deal a fair amount of physical damage. I wouldn't say he's the best ban, but I like the Pangolier mid. He's a good space creator. He didn't really get touched in the last patch. I mean, the Lucky Shot nerfs are minimal. 25% slow or 30% slow is not that big a deal, and Pango did not usually go for Manta style, so it's not that big a deal either. I like the Pango. What's the Signify last pick now? You would like a pick? Yeah, you can actually go for a Huskar here and win. Puck. Okay. Puck not so good. Puck has a bit of difficulty against the Pango in the mid lane. Yep, Pango. I mean, you can evade his Swashbuckle theoretically with a phase shift and lane, but Pango can also, like, that's rather easy, of course. And I guess that's the idea: play super aggressively against a Pango that can't really touch you. You can put a lot of harassment against them. You can easily evade all of Pango's spells. I don't know how much of the Swashbuckle you can evade though with a 0.75 second phase shift. I don't think it's long enough to actually evade the whole Swashbuckle, but we'll see. It's a hero that you can play pretty aggressively with. Goes really nicely with Darkseer. Goes nicely with Tusk as well. Any hero that can really break their positioning. Actually, Darkseer, Lich, and Tusk are really good with Puck. And the Slark Leash is also quite nice because Puck has a difficulty canceling TPs. He offers a lot of magical damage. He's not the weakest against Anti-Mage because you can actually easily evade his normal attacks just by playing really scarily. And he brings a silence. Sorry, really slippery. And he brings a silence to the table. The lineup for Signify is very clear. I like their timings as well. They're clearly a mid-game lineup with snowball potential. A lot of team fight offered by this lineup. Decent lanes for the most part. In fact, pretty good lane matchups in general, especially if you're forcing Batrider versus Slark. And on top of that, you get a Slark that is able to snowball out of control without much difficulty. So, overall, I think this is a pretty good lineup. There we go.
Very good.
Okay. So with this, like I was mentioning, both lineups are okay in their own respect, but I think that in terms of what they're proposing, a Signify lineup is considerably better. We'll see. Zap now being harassed. There's no pounce just yet. Finally goes for one level of it. They're going to guarantee this first blood. Goodbye, Zap. Goes to Mr. Crownley. Ideally, you should give it to Slark. He already leveled 1 pounce as opposed to going for something a bit more useful. So, and he doesn't have Dark Pact, right? Level 1, which is kind of annoying against a Bat Rider. You should have really given it to Blizzard to get that first blood, at least gold out of this, but whatever. If you look at the lineup here for Signify, they have a very clear mid-game lineup, which will come online, I would say, earlier than coming soon. You know, at least the 5 of them will come online before the 5 of coming soon come online. The idea for coming soon is fighting out 4 versus 5, which is okay if it wasn't because Signify also went for a pretty strong team fight lineup. Which means that even though Disruptor, Bat Rider, and Pango can offer you a considerable win there, the Puck, Darkseer, Tusk, and Lich are not going to be too far behind. And Slark can actually help in the team fights early, which means you just have a numbers advantage here. If the lanes go okay for Signify, okay to even good, ideally, then they should be able to withstand coming soon's lineup, put enough pressure against the Anti-Mage, and just win the game. Anti-Mage is a very risky pick here, honestly, and I think it was a bit of a mistake, but coming soon did play a pretty good Anti-Mage yesterday, and they did a really good job with him, so we'll see. Also, the lane for the AM shouldn't be too difficult. They're actually running a tri-lane down bottom here, which I think is completely necessary. Maybe they're trying to run a tri-lane just to get the first blood, and then they'll go, or not the first blood, sorry, a single kill on the Bat Rider, and then they'll move away. A Darkseer is actually really weak against Anti-Mage early on, especially if he's alone, because Anti-Mage can blink to you, and then he can just man-fight you, essentially. Take away all your mana, and, well, this is what happens, literally. He went for 2 mangoes, actually wasted a lot of mana, Iron Shell early, which is not bad, because that means Anti-Mage can deal less damage to you. But he's still getting harassed by this Thunderstrike from the Disruptor, which is a bit annoying. He has no help to stop the Anti-Mage from just diving him if he wants to, and Anti-Mage doesn't even need to go for a blink early. In fact, look at this, no chance starts to go in for the last hits. He actually wastes all his mana first to make sure that they don't deal much damage, but they can still chase him down into the trees. Divine considering going further, but thinking it's better to go for the last hits. The Iron Shell keeps the lane pushed, forces the Anti-Mage to last hit under tower. He doesn't have too much difficulty doing this, but it's not ideal either. So in the early game, this can be a bit of a difference. You can see Divine, though, can just tank those Iron Shells fine. He has a lot of regen anyway for this lane. A dual lane is definitely suggested for this Darkseer, as this tri-lane down bottom is not really doing much for Signify. Bit of a mistake. In the middle lane, though, you have Puck that actually went for Illusory Orb level 1. And is able to evade things in Illusory Orb as well. And with a phase shift, he should be able to evade a considerable part of that Swashbuckle. So I think Swifty should be perfectly fine here. Bottom lane, there is a rotation here from Zap. Blizzard wants to come join in. They have a pounce. They hit the pounce. Now Zap in trouble. Attack team helps them get the kill. And Zap will go down. Okay, well, with this, we're going to see an early kill. Great, and now can you start going for some rotations? A lot of farm for the Slark also in these range creeps. Is he going to get all these latches? Yeah, they're actually pinging this. Like, guys, look how many range creeps they actually piled on. This is why the lane got pushed so far up. Very odd that you get this. No, don't miss a last hit, don't miss a last hit. Oh, thank God, Blizzard. Ooh, the efficiency even gets the deny out of this. Oh, that's so much gold. So satisfying to watch if you like Dota. And we're going to watch the Bat Rider actually TP here. They do rotate Zap here in the bottom lane. But that's because in the top lane, they already got this Darkseer controlled. If you have a dual lane versus a tri-lane and they're not winning by too much, if you have a dual lane versus a tri-lane and they're not winning by too much, I think that gonna find the snowball here for Fly Solo. Here's the attack team, helping them get the kill onto Fly Solo. Good rotation by Mr. Crownley. One more hit will do the trick, and Mr. Crownley gets that kill. Still keeping up with the enemy team by getting a good rotation here. Good job, Mr. Crownley. This is exactly what you need to do. Don't force the tri-lane versus dual lane where you're gonna keep even in the lane. Make sure you rotate and take advantage of this tri-lane versus dual lane situation. In the middle lane, Moon's also suffering quite a lot with 1 level of phase shift and 1 level of waning rift. This Puck starts becoming a real threat, and there's already a single level difference, which is pretty big. The Disruptor rotates here in case there's anyone actually coming in to kill the Pango. Pretty good idea, actually. The Disruptor can harass the lane ever so slightly, force the lane in their favor, and Also prevent the Tusk gank here. But Mr. Crownly has a haste rune. He could do something with this. He's going to go up top to try to catch Divine. Let's see if this works out for them. Mr. Crownly going for Divine. There's the Iron Shell. Nice tag team. Ready. Are they going to find the anti-mage here in the... Nope. Nobody. Okay. Well, that was a wasted haste rune. Unfortunate. The lanes start to slow down ever so slightly with the last sets now for the Slark still leading, but Anti-Mage not being too far behind. Of course, those skills make the Slark slightly better off. And this is the idea for Signify, right? Try to get a mid-game that goes either in, or an early game that goes in their favor, at least kind of even. Then you force the 4 versus 5 engagements. Ideally, a Blizzard can actually get an early Shadow Blade or even a Midas. They get this advantage that they need. The issue, of course, is how do you harass the anti-mage later on. He's starting out by going for treads, I want to say. I'm not entirely sure. Is he actually going to skip boots? He seems like he's going to skip boots, but they must be on the courier. No? Okay. I haven't seen the anti-mage skip boots in competitive forever, but I guess if you're up against a Darkseer, you can allow that. Moon in the middle lane, silenced up. He still has a swashbuckle, but he's going to break that Dream Call. He knows he's going to die whatever he does, so Moon just resigns and gives up to Mr. Crownly, who gets healed by that bottle and ensures that this initiation by the Earth Spirit won't work out. And the bottom lane, we will see Blizzard getting a more of a mid-gamey build with the Wraith Bands plus the Magic Stick. It's interesting to see this, so he's definitely going to try to have some impact as early as possible, rather than going for his core items. The battle is actually harassing this, or getting harassed by a lot by this Lich. In the mid lane, though, is where the action's happening. Fly solo in a bad position, but Moon's going to help him out. And they don't phase shift in time, which means Swifty could be in trouble here. Moon doesn't have Rolling Thunder, unfortunately, so Fly solo will be the victim of this engagement. They evade the Rolling Boulder. Nice job. Swifty still want to fight. Zap in a bad position. In comes the Lich, and with a double damage rune, he ensures to finish off Zap swiftly. Haha! As Swifty survives this engagement, using the Magic Stick to his advantage as well. Very well played. He's using that regen really well, and this Puck is a fantastic pick against the Earth Spirit and the Pango. At first I doubted it because I was like, Puck mid. But honestly, Puck mid, we're seeing a lot of him recently. He's coming back into the meta, and he does offer a lot against these heroes in the early game, which allows you to snowball out of control. And that is essentially what the Puck wants to do. Level 15 is such a big, crucial level for Puck that getting this is important. And oh god, the root! They get everything for this poor Bat Rider. They actually force him forward with that Boulder Smash! What? Zap just put him in the middle of the enemy, and he just, yeah, of course he died. Ridiculous. Well, that's unfortunate. That's very, very unfortunate. We get no chance with the Iron Show here. And the top lane just trying to recover a bit after they've been left alone. We do see the Shutter kind of joins back into the lane. Fly solo won't have the easiest time though. Harassing, no chance anymore. We see actually went for a level of wall replica relatively early. It's common to skip this for either an extra level of surge or even 1 point of vacuum to cancel TPs, but against an anti-mage, that value point in wall replica is actually very useful. That's a good scan. Catches Divine, catches the Disruptor. They know that someone's here, so his smoke will work out. Puck smokes at level 7 immediately once Illusory Orb is maxed. Pretty clever. Crownly, Snowball ready. Tag team level 2 as well. They use a kinetic field. Fly solo. Can't get away. Too much damage from Swifty. And Zap in the top lane can't even help them out. top lane. The Rolling Thunder comes in, and they're ready with the Rolling Bowler, though canceling the Spectral Crown initiation. They still catch Divine. He didn't have a blink. Offensively blinked there and got punished for it. Moon hits every target. Now with the Swashbuckle as well. Kills the Tusk, but he's still up against 2. No Chance has not enough mana for the Iron Shell. And in fact, it's Swifty with the Illusory Orb that gets the kill. The Surge ensures that he can get away swiftly. And No Chance with the Iron Shell. Still chasing after Fly Solo. Difficult for Fly Solo to get away. Kinetic Field, will he trap him in? No! Illusory Orb is actually what finishes him off. Swifty is dancing circles around Coming Soon's team. Oh, wow. And Swifty is just taking full advantage of this puck, swapping to net worth right now. There it is. We'll see Swifty's actually second net worth because he's given so much space to the Slark. He's able to grab a relatively early Hand of Midas together with Treads and that Wraithband. In the middle lane, they've actually decided to keep the Lich here, which ensures he'll get a okay timing level 6, which is very nice. But if we look at the levels, we'll see that the difference in levels is definitely in favor of Signify, who are doing much better with the supports and especially better with their solo offlaner. Their management of experience is much better this game, and they'll get a quick Chain Frost, which is quite important. Water Sponge, not so important. You really just want to max tag team. Level 5 is the big, or level 7 is the big level for this Tusk. They have Ice Shards this time, so Fly Solo is not going anywhere. Those Ice Shards stop this Rolling Thunder completely. He has nothing to do. And Blizzard will go forward against Moon. Nah, he swashbuckles away. He'll be perfectly fine. And yeah, some people, just to mention this for the people that don't know Coming Soon, they do have 2 Filipino players that play for Detonator. And not entirely certain if they are standing in just for this game or they're planning to join this team full time. Because they did recently play the JJB Spring Cup and they are playing that right now as Detonator, so it's unclear. Oh, okay, that kind of pulled a second away from destroying this. But yeah, that's interesting. So there does seem to be a couple international players coming into the Indian scene. They're allowed as long as the team is mainly Indian. And Coming Soon, previously known as Reckoning Esports, is mainly Indian. So it's not a problem. I do know that there was a Signify team as well previously with some international players. They had also the chance for a while to acquire, or they wanted to acquire Black. And I believe Noya was also one of the ones that wanted to go to one of the Indian teams. A bit difficult though to pay those very high salaries with a team that's not performing too well just yet, but it's definitely growing. The Indian scene is definitely growing, and I think these 2 players, Fly Solo and RR, are a good sign of it. The question is, I don't really know how the inner workings of this went, to be honest, because like I mentioned, Detonator is playing another cup at the same time, and they are playing as full Detonator, so we'll see. And also increase the game's sound, because I find that apparently a lot of people that watch these want a much higher sound. I don't know. I usually don't put it at that max because otherwise you can't hear the commentary. Alright, we'll see. No Chance is going to take a tier 1 tower really early. That's really nice for them. We see the admin doing his job. It's really sweet having good admins here. It's currently sad about that. As we know, by the way, Signify played or delayed this match because they had internet issues already. So let's hope that this doesn't actually turn into a free game just because of this issue. Coming Soon, their problem right now is that they have an anti-mage, really, and they're getting kind of crushed by the snowball-y lineup. And the Stark is a much better way to actually use this an early game lineup that can transition into late game.
Where are you watching? That's how it's done.
Because the Stark is a hero who can... What? Sorry, DC? What? Okay. The Stark is a hero that can most certainly transition to late game decently. He's not the best late game hero. He's not a Spectre, Medusa, or even an anti-mage, actually. But he is pretty good. And now he can actually counter the anti-mage decently as well with the pounds. And he's a hero that does a lot more in the early game, which you've been seeing here. The Pounce is very effective now to actually get kills in the early, and you don't even require a Shadow Blade that early, just because of Slark's mobility has been increased slightly. Puck does a similar thing. If he gets level 15 before they can get, you know, high levels, then they're pretty much destroyed. Puck will have a huge increase in magical damage. He can even go for a Dagon build to kill off the supports really easily. Flysoul has to be careful here. He does get a glimpse off on Crownly. I don't know if that's the best play. Static Storm to prevent the puck from jaunting in. He gets the better Dream Coil onto 2. Silenced up. Goodbye Disruptor. And the Pango's man fighting him. Disarms him. Doesn't get the silence. Unfortunately, Moon will not be able to kill him off. Now comes the help from the Batrider. Has a Batrider lasso. Good use of the Ice Shards there, but they drag him back. Poor Tusk there. Had no chance to really survive this. Yeah, he's just going to walk into the Firefly, trying to get the Walrus Punch, but doesn't get off in time. The animation is not too favorable to you. So they lose a Tusk for a Disruptor. Honestly, not a big deal. They commit a Dream Coil there, and they commit a Lasso, so it's more or less equal in terms of cooldowns. It's not really a worthwhile trade. Doesn't really matter who won that trade. Coming soon wasted a lot of time, though. That should be said. But they do give a bit of space to their anti-mage, which is important. Divine getting more and more space here. Similarly, on the other hand, though, you do have a Slark that is getting a Midas, and will start to outfarm the anti-mage. This is the problem as well. The Midas is actually pretty good on the Slark, because he usually goes for attack speed items anyway, so 40 attack speed is definitely not a wasted amount of gold. But on top of that, the Midas will make you snowball before the anti-mage can get Battle Fury and actually match your farming speed. And oh god, that's terrible. So right now, what it seems like is Coming Soon might just win, because whole Signify will disconnect. And yeah, it's really unfortunate, honestly. It's really unfortunate. Anyone checking the score, there's a 1-game advantage for Signify. People that are coming now. Sorry for the weird schedule today. Not up to us. It was up to the internet connection of the teams. And as we were mentioning, the delay was because of Signify's internet connection, so it's no surprise that they're having internet problems now. It's very unfortunate when you see a good team not being able to classify or qualify because of bad internet connection. And I do wonder how much this affects them as well. I will mention, because Signify has gotten past in a couple of the SCA qualifiers, and they might be improving more. They're able to do better scrims and stuff like that if they had a better internet connection, especially to the SCA servers. Yeah, they're having internet problems. It's unfortunate. It's very similar to what happens to South American teams who they don't get to scrim anyone outside of the region because how terrible their internet connection is. So if you have the same issue in an Indian team, even if Signify is really good, they just don't have the chance to practice against better teams, which is unfortunate. But they are improving a surprising amount, and I think ESL One Mumbai will be a great experience for them if they do manage to qualify. Actually, for either of these teams. It's really nice that you actually get an Indian qualifier because you get a team that usually doesn't get this chance to scrim with the best and to learn from the best, and that is absolutely fantastic. I'm glad ESL offered this opportunity. Walrus Punch is ready for this Tusk now, as we've seen in the couple last team fights. So he actually offers a good stun and canceling TPs. No chance now with the Helm of the Dominator, continuing with his push. He actually got a Dark Troll Summoner, the best hero, or the best creep for pushing. And No Chance actually deals a fair amount of damage with his 90 damage talent early on. Look at that. Poof! One punch and the tower just falls. Divine wants to chase after him, but the reinforcements might not be enough. Here comes the puck. Actually, it was all a trick. Very bad wall, though. Doesn't get the illusion. Divine there with a vacuum. Actually kill him off in the end. In comes the Pango, though, trying to turn this into 1-for-1. The puck close to dying, has to phase shift this away. And loses the orb. Swifty a bit too fast because he has that surge onto him. They do lose a Lich, but at the expense of an anti-mage, totally worth it. Especially because your Slurk is still farming down the bottom lane. He's quite a fast farmer as well. He's completely eclipsing the anti-mage's net worth. And with that Midas, even better and even faster. So it does seem like Blizzard's doing quite well. Going for the 6 agility talent, though. Not very common. Usually go for the 10 strength. You want a bit more strength. You steal that 6 agility in 2 hits. So getting 6 agility is like an Echo Saver. But whatever. You want to be a bit more offensive. I get it. Mr. Crowley. I go for Fly Solo. Here's the Ice Shards. Walrus Punch ready. Goodbye, Fly Solo. Okay, these small counter kills or these small pickoffs are in favor, I guess. It's not bad to get them, but you really should be coming soon and tries to get them right now. The issue is that we don't really have the ability to. It's just a draft. They're not playing this badly, but it's very difficult to play an anti-mage draft with or against a team like Puck and Slark and whatnot. They put a lot of pressure, they choke you. They're also really good at dominating the map once you have map control. And the Surge actually helps a lot. They have a lot of mobility, so they can choke you rather easily, and it's much more difficult going for the pickoffs here. On top of that, you also have Pango that's rather underfarmed, a Batrider that doesn't have Blink and actually went for Travels, which makes initiation much more difficult. Yeah, it's honestly not an easy game for coming soon. But as long as they haven't lost the game and they're still pretty okay in terms of towers, it's pretty difficult for Signify to actually close this down completely. Okay, Crownly the target, but they get a beautiful Dream Call to 3. Nice Static Storm though. Was it a bait? Doesn't seem like it because Chain Frost is absolutely destroying them. Won't bounce the last time, doesn't really need it. Swifty still fighting this, no chance. Actually joins the fray now with a nice Vacuum plus Wall Replica. They're going to go for the Batrider first though. Ice Shards don't quite catch him. Now uses the Firefly quite fast, but the Puck still gets the kill onto him. Zap the next target. They're going to go for him with the Jaunt and catch him out easily. Blizzard now with a Surge is trying to catch the enemy support. The Pounce hits Ply Solo. Uses Kinetic Field, but Blizzard extends his sharp Razor Edge to finish off Fly Solo. Catch the Pangolier here. Easy kill. Oh, no, okay, no follow-up because there's nobody actually helping the man. Never mind, actually was near a tower, so it's the follow-up comes from coming soon. The reinforcements are here. They're going to find Negi. Negi burned to bits. And the Rolling Thunder, easy kill. Blizzard might come in with the Shadow Blade. Is this sufficient? Yep. Moon in trouble. He's going to go down. As they go for the Batrider as well, he does have the lasso but can't do anything against a Slark, and Blizzard's starting to dominate exactly as he was flying to. The Glimpse kind of annoys them, but doesn't really matter. They're not looking for these extra kills, not really necessary. There are only 2 supports. You killed the cores in this engagement, that's what you were looking for. So overall, you have Signify with, again, the domination, but Anti-Mage is getting enough space for these engagements, at least, if you're looking at the bright side, to maybe farm the Battle Fury at a minute 20, perhaps? It's pretty tall order. You still need a Yasha and Manta style. But the good thing is Signify doesn't have the most pushing power ever. Slark is one of the worst pushers out there because he needs to actually get into a team fight before he can push. These pickoffs, though, are not too beneficial for coming soon, but at least they're giving some space to the Anti-Mage. Currently in trouble. They do get the lasso off. This is a pickoff they were looking for, even though it's just a support. But he's way too fast at the search. Can they kill him off? Yes, they can. Good job. Now the reinforcements are here. Chain Frost starts to bounce between them. But it's only 2. The Pango can actually control him. Swifty finally here, but he bounces or blinks in to a Rolling Thunder. Gets stunned out. Only gets the kill onto Divine first. Moon can still fight this, but not confident enough. Even with the Maelstrom isn't dealing enough damage to actually kill the Darkseer. The lasso is not ready, so he can't catch anyone out. Goat Yulsetter as well. Negi will just waste their time as their 2 cores escape. And yet again, you lose supports from Signify, but you don't actually lose any cores. So it's not really that big a deal. You don't need to kill these support kills, even though they're quite farmed. You really are looking for the Slark. You can't do anything against him. They stop his Shadow Dance, and he doesn't really care. He just man fights Moon, literally. And Moon is just saving himself. Oh no, the Pound still hits. He forgot to use the Shadow Dance. And he allowed Moon to actually get the lucky shot and kill, or the Maelstrom proc and kill him. Unfortunate play there. Moon still dies though to Swifty as he goes on further with the Waning Rift and Illusory Orb combo, killing off this poor Pangolier. And with Mr. Crowley, they're gonna go for a pipe, it seems like, as the first item. When you have a Tusk that's this farmed, honestly, you can skip the urn and everything and just go straight for pipe. It's not a bad idea. The Slark did die there, so that's a quite important kill. Pango actually getting all the farm there is really good as well. Lucky Maelstrom proc, yeah, sure, but also a misplay by the Slark who didn't go for Shadow Dance to evade that. He's gonna go for the Garden Greaves next. I don't know if I love the Garden Greaves build on Pango this game. Honestly, you might have to be the damage dealer right now. You just don't have any damage, and Swashbuckle is just not enough. Your two supports are mainly control supports rather than actually damage dealing supports. You don't have something like an AA. You don't have something like hell, you know, Wind Ranger back in the day when it's played position 5. I mean, there's not many damage supports that are played nowadays. A Lion or a Shadow Shaman, for example, at least deals some damage. Both Disruptor and Earth Spirit don't bring that much to the table. They're much more about catch and control, and that means that you rely on the damage of your cores. If you're going for these kind of supports, you cannot pick a Pango and go for this build unless your carry is already activated. But Anti-Mage doesn't even have his Battle Fury. So in this 4 Protect 5 lineup, you won't have the ability to actually, you know, kill anything. You can catch as much as you want. Even the Firefly's damage as the game progresses is honestly not that strong, especially if you go for a pipe with the Tusk, which will completely cancel all those sources of damage. Moon the target here, it seems like. They reveal the smoke though. This ward could have been placed over here. That would have given a better vision. You don't want the vision that you can get anyway naturally, especially because you have this ward already. What? Actually, yeah. You have this ward already. You place this ward. This is definitely not a good ward. You could have done a bit better. They have this ward themselves. Actually, they're going to take advantage of it. Moon goes in, misses the puck entirely. Static Storm was still annoying though. Swifty doesn't have a second phase. He has to use Yule Scepter for now to save himself. Yeah, there's a Yules. Zap misses the... oh no, he gets it anyway. Vacuum into Wall Replica though. Cancel this initiation with the Chain Frost, ensuring that they all die. No damage from coming soon. Even the Pango dies in the backlines. It's just... impossible for them to go against this Vacuum Wall Replica, and Blizzard gets a solo kill against his anti-mage, showing off his Shadow Blade already. This game is so close to being done. They just can't do anything, and they keep going for these haphazard team fights, and even in a 4 versus 4, which is ideally what you have to win, they can't actually succeed. With this, I'm gonna take a tower, Mr. Crownley, easy stuff. And Crownley will join here in the mid lane with a catapult from the Darkseer, I believe. I think, yeah, this would be a catapult from the Darkseer. It doesn't give me the Helmet of Dominator thing, but whatever. And this catapult will help out take down this tower. They should take all the outer towers with this and just start threatening the high ground. Honestly, can coming soon really do anything against them? Just stop picking the anti-mage. When you're a team that you know is maybe not as mechanically gifted as the enemy team, and I think this is a fair assessment to say if you're coming soon. Signify has for a while been the dominant team in the Indian region, and just because you add two players from Detonator does not mean that your team suddenly becomes as good as them. It's okay, like it's not that big a deal. They perform slightly better than you. You still have a chance, but this chance cannot come with safe playing lineups like anti-mage. Or it's safe in theory, but really, really risky in practice. Because Signify is good at punishing that. Their style of play is oftentimes very aggressive and very snowbally, and you're giving them the hero they want to play against, which is the anti-mage. They can cancel his TP super easily. Get by Fly Solo. I will say that the performance as well by RR and Fly Solo has not been particularly great this game. The Destructor pick is super weak as well. You run him with an anti-mage which doesn't benefit much from a dual lane with Disruptor. You really should have run a tri-lane with Disruptor. And even though you have a pretty good lane against the Darkseer, you just can't get the battle free. I mean, seriously, you're minute 22. Is this at my pubs? Like, you're getting a battle free way too late. And now you still need the Yasha to actually be impactful. So you're still not good enough. They can still kill you. This Slark has a goddamn BKB. Gonna take down this Roshan now. With a tag team, Roshan falls rather easily. They even have the armlet here. Puck is going for Ags. That's actually really good because it stops the Pango Rolling Thunder from being effective. You stun him mid Ags. Wow, that is really, really strong. Or mid Dream Coil, mid Rolling Thunder. Yeah, that's a really good call actually by the Puck. He's already level 15. Well, he reached it a couple minutes ago. Oh wow, he went for the 90 damage? Really? That's rare on our Puck. Okay, well, Blizzard fighting against 4. Is he strong enough? Here come the reinforcements. Puck is here. BKB used by Blizzard. He can't really get hurt by Divine now. Divine just goes down. Nothing he could do. The pounce is too strong. He pounces down Zap as well. And we only see a Pangolier rolling Thunder. Fire one away. There's the Snowball. We'll catch the Pango. Ice Shard's ready. They don't actually Ice Shard him. Well, he had a Swashbuckle anyway. Whatever. They're going to fight him with a Fear. They have the Waning Rift as well to Fire Silence, and that's going to be a dead Pangolier. Blizzard, meanwhile, finds an easy kill on Fly Solo, has the Iron Shell on top of it, and in Aegis, Fly Solo just gives up. He's like, nah, I'm not going to die this game. God, no, he dies anyway. GG, called by coming soon. Too much of a domination. Signify wins game number 1. With that, Signify just takes the first game in the series, and since they have a 1-game advantage from the winners brackets, they might just be able to finish this at 3-0 super easily. Coming soon, with all the pressure on them, they're looking for this just one single game, one single victory, so they can at least have a chance to demonstrate what they're made of. Let's hope coming soon can show us what they did in the upper brackets and beat Signify, or let's see if Signify can take them down to 3-0 in one of the fastest finals I'll ever cast. My name's been DSwordfish. I've been your caster for today here on the ESL channel. Remember to like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on Twitch. And we'll be coming back very shortly with the next game between Signify and coming soon. See you guys then.